What's going on, everybody? My name is Samuel Genus, and I want to welcome you to episode number 5 of Joining the 1%, where me and my family talk about our journey towards business ownership, wealth building, influence, and charity. On today's episode, I'm actually doing this one by myself. My family will be here in the next episode. But in today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about great books for your business. Great books for your business. It doesn't really matter what kind of business you have. The books that I'm going to present today are actually, they're going to just be great to have in your library. Some of you might have some of these books. Some of you might have all of them. Some of you might have none of them. Some of you might have these books, but you haven't read them. All right. So that's what I want to do today. I forget how many books is here, but I'm gonna try to go through all of them and just give you a quick summary and just, and just tell you why I think it's good for your business. So I'm actually going to start with this one, Dotcom Secrets. This is written by Russell Brunson. It was written a couple of years ago, and it basically just talks about the different types of funnels you can create for your business. Like how to, create, how to create good funnels, how to create, the type of funnel, sales funnels, break-even funnels, what kind of, a voice you want to present yourself in. Or you want to present yourself in as like, the leader or the underdog, all these different, how to really create a movement around you and your brand. But he's the founder of ClickFunnels, and but I think the book is really, really good. Even though YouShare 360, we're like, I have an all-in-one business platform, I still think this book is really, really good. You can learn a lot, even from your competitors. He's one of my competitors, but you can still learn a lot from the book. So I think this is really good, learning about funnels, learning, just how to sell, learning how to create that mass appeal and grow your business. Very, very good book. Another good book is Copywriting Secrets. I actually just got this book a couple of weeks ago. This one is written by Jim Edwards. He's the guy who actually created Funnelytics as well. Funnel Scripts, rather. He created Funnel Scripts, and he's a copywriter. And many of you, you have a business, but you have difficulty trying to sell your product. You have difficulty finding the right words, compelling words, And, Russell Brunson says things like you're one funnel away, but think about it. Good copywriting really makes your funnel great, right? If you want to influence people, because the ultimate goal of a copyright is basically a copywriter is to influence people to make a decision, to make a specific decision concerning your business, whether that's to opt in, whether it's to buy a product, whether it's to share, to share an idea. You want them to make a decision, whether that is for them to brag about your business. You want to write copy in such a way that you influence them to make a decision, and this book helps you do that. It helps you understand how to craft that together. And I like what he said, even in his, what Jim Edwards said, even in his sales video, he was like, look, many of you can't even afford a good copywriter. You can't afford them because they're good. They're so good that they charge a lot of money. So you have to learn how to write your copy. You have to learn how to do that. You have to learn how to write that copy and grow your business so that you start having these people on your team. You definitely want to have a good copywriter on your team because you're going to be writing all kinds of emails. You're going to be writing all kinds of opt-in pages, sales pages. You're going to be writing Facebook ads. You're going to be writing Facebook posts, social media posts, and you want to learn how to communicate your message in an effective way that's going to influence people. All right. The other book, this one is a good one. Actually, I want to do this one first. So this book is called Never Eat Alone. I actually got this book from a lady on my job that I used to work at, and I actually never returned it to her. She actually loaned it to me, and now for some reason I can't find her. So if you're watching this, I got your book, and I probably owe you some money for this book. But I had left the job and I forgot to return the book. and I couldn't find her the last time I was there. I was like, oh, where's she at, you know? But this book is called Never Eat Alone and Other Secrets to Success, One Relationship at a Time. It's a national bestseller, How to Build a Lifelong Community of Colleagues, Contacts, Friends, and Mentors. And I forget what he says in the book. I don't know if I could find it really quickly, but there's a part where he talks about how big, I probably can't even find it now. And it was such a great point. I should have underlined it, but he was talking about like how big his contact, like his own personal contact was. Like I think he had like either 500 or 5,000 people in his contact. We're not talking about just in his email list and all that. Like this is just his regular contacts on his phone. And these are the people he just built relationships with: politicians, doctors, religious people. I mean, even drinking buddies. He actually has like, I have friends that I drink with. I have friends who I can borrow money from. I have friends if I'm going through marital issues. I have friends, for spiritual advice. I have friends, and he just surrounded himself and built great relationships with people. And if you want to be successful, you're going to have a pretty large inner circle. Even the Bible says, in the multitude of counselors, there's safety, and the more people you have around you that you build relationships with, the more skills they have, and the more of those skills that you have around you, the better off your life will be, because you don't have to guess your way through stuff. You don't have to, do trial and error all the time. You can get advice. And when you build relationships with these people, here's a cool part. Because you built relationships with them, sometimes they won't even charge you for their advice. They're just, they just give you their advice, because you're a friend, right? There's a difference between being a friend and being a client. And when you're a friend, there are people, they will do things special for you just because you're a friend, and the clients don't always get that benefit. So he talks about like how to even build relationships, how to get new friends, being able to, like how you always think about what they need. Don't always think about your own self-interest, but think about what they need, what you can do for them, what you can provide for them. And in return, you're going to get their friendship, you're going to get a relationship with them, He talks about like, remembering their birthdays and stuff like that, and anniversaries and stuff like that, building relationships with them, basically, it's a secret to success, one relationship at a time. Now, here's the thing you're going to need to know about relationship. It takes work. It takes time. It takes intentionality. So you can't just be reactionary when you want to build friendships and you want to build a network. You got to be intentional. You got to actually make time to be a friend. You got to make time to build a relationship. So if you're one of those people, if you're an introvert, you're going to have to learn how to come out your shell a little bit. If you're shy, you're going to have to learn how to speak up more. You're going to have to learn. If you're selfish, you're going to have to stop being selfish, and you're going to have to start being willing to give to other people. And sometimes just giving without expecting anything in return, just literally just giving. I just want to be a help to you, even if you get their friendship or not, you just want to build a relationship. And so this book talks about that. I like that. Don't walk, run to your closest bookstore. This is the most extraordinary and valuable book I've come across in a long time. That was Tom Peters, his remark. And I like this other one that says, your network is your net worth. This book shows you how to add to your personal bottom line with better networking and bigger relationships. What a solid but easy read. Keith's personality shines through like the great and hip teacher you got in college or business school. Buy this book for yourself, and tomorrow go out and buy one for your kid brother. Tim Sanders. All right, so check out this book. I think it's very great, to building those relationships. All right, so let me go to a quick commercial, and then when I come back, I'm gonna go through the list again. We'll be right back. My name is Samuel Genus, and I'm the founder of YouShare360.com, and my company created an all-in-one business platform called The Back Office. And with this platform, business owners can manage all of their contacts, their email campaigns, their marketing funnels, their automations, their e-commerce, their billing, their tasks, projects, and teams. I created the back office because I saw that in order for solopreneurs and mom and pop shops and small business owners to become successful, they actually need all of these various features. They need CRM, they need email campaign, they need marketing funnels and automations, they need to be able to sell products or send out invoices, they need to be able to manage their projects and manage their teams and manage all their tasks. And so we was like, many of them were just like pulling their hair out. They was frustrated with trying to connect all these different platforms together. So there was a lot of tech headache, there was a lot of things they had to learn. And then on top of that, to get all these different features and software, the cost went up. And so when you're starting a business, you're trying to keep your costs low. So we decided to create a platform that have all these features and modules within the platform at one low price. One of the things I like about the plans that we offer is that we don't just consider ourselves a IT company. So we're not just giving you technology, we're also giving you education, and we're giving you consulting. So with our plans, when you select the essential plan or higher, we actually provide you with free strategy sessions throughout the year. It's actually associated with your plan, because we've noticed that many business owners, they get the software or they get technology and they think it's a magic bullet, and then we realize that, hey, there's some things you got to learn. You need to have a plan. You need to have a strategy. You need to have a blueprint in place. So we decided to incorporate those services with our plan. So when you pick one of the plans within the back office, you automatically get the training and you get the strategy sessions and you get implementation support. To sign up is easy. Simply go to ushare360.com, click on the sign up button in the top right, and you'll be on your way. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Samuel Genus, and you're watching Joining the 1%, where me and my family talk about our journey towards business ownership, building wealth, influence, and charity. And on today's episode, I'm talking to you about great books for your business, great books for your business. And so I'm still going down the list of just a few books that I have that I just want to share with you that I think will be good for any kind of business you have. This one is called the Dream 100 book. Many of you have heard people talk about, your Dream 100, but this is the actual book. It's written by Dana Derricks, and the foreword is by Russell Brunson. And Russell Brunson actually talks about the Dream 100 in the Dotcom Secrets book as well. And but this book actually is dedicated to the Dream 100. And basically the concept of the book is like, finding, instead of just like looking for your customers and your targeted audience, you look for the Dream 100. These are influencers who have a certain amount of followers, and those followers are your targeted audience. So instead of you like trying to locate these, 1 million targeted audiences, you can go after, 100 influencers, and maybe this influencer has 50,000 followers, and this influencer has 100,000 followers, and this influencer has 800,000 followers, and this influencer has 2 million. But their audience that these influencers have, they are your targeted audience. So by building a relationship with these influencers and getting them to either interview you on their show, maybe giving you a shout out of your product on their channel, their YouTube channel, their Facebook channel, or their Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, working out some kind of partnership with them where you can kind of have a discussion together, or they could promote your book or your service. Or I think his name is it's Prince Donnell, I think that's his name. But he has a tax company. I forgot the name of his tax company. But he was talking about something where he kind of did like a Dream 15, where he found 15 influential people on Facebook. And instead of paying for Facebook ads, he ended up finding, 15 people who had a good Facebook page or a Facebook group. And in that group, they had enough people which were like his targeted audience. So he basically paid them and to show his ad. So he would create a video, and then he would pay the person who owns the Facebook channel, not Mark Zuckerberg, but like whoever that influencer was, and he would pay them. I don't know how much he paid them, but probably a couple of $100. Who knows? It could have even been $50 or $75. And he was like, hey, promote. Let me put my video or my commercial on your page in your Facebook group, and I'll pay you for it every week. Right? And they did. and he was able to blow up. I mean, he blew up a lot, just got all these different, new leads and stuff for his business, and he did it so well that he didn't need them anymore. After doing that for like I think a year or a half a year, he didn't have to keep doing it because now he was getting all this organic leads for his business. So the Dream 100 is kind of follows that process as well. It's like, just locating, your influencers who have your target audience. It shows you how to build those relationships, how to reach out to them, what to say, what not to say, all that kind of stuff. And you got to be patient too, because it might take some time, but it's good, It's a really good book. So check this out. This other one is called The Black Tax. This guy talks about, I'm actually going to read it so you guys will get it. It says, the black tax is an extraordinary analysis of how anti-black bias has created a detrimental tax that black Americans pay in the auto, housing, online, job, and lending markets, and how that tax has suffocated our entrepreneurial spirit, restricted our ability to develop healthy families, decreased the number of communities that provide quality education, safe neighborhoods, and gainful employment, and significantly reduce our ability to leave a sizable inheritance, watch this, to our children. The black tax, however, does not focus on this injustice. Instead, it quantifies the fiscal impact of the tax, provides the data to support it, and then offers ways that black America can offset the effects and create 6 million jobs and 1.4 million businesses in the black community. Very, very good book. You definitely want to read this because some people are like, why should I support, black businesses? That's kind of racist or whatever. But when you understand the negative impact that's happening in our community, you're going to realize, and this book really breaks it down. And notice, it's not a big book. It's only 22 pages. But I watched this guy on a presentation with Lawrence Watkins. Lawrence Watkins is the brother of Boyce Watkins, and the dude was dropping some knowledge, man, to the point where, like, just watching him one time, I bought the book. As soon as I was done watching the video, the interview with him, I bought the book because he was dropping good information. And I was like, wow, and he wasn't like being argumentative. He wasn't being prideful. He wasn't like coming off like as just this, he was, he just came across very, very humble and likable. But the knowledge he's dropping is profound. So when people talking about like, why should we do this? Why should we, support, black businesses? This book gives you the reason, because you'll be amazed at the negative things that are happening to the black community because of this black tax, understanding. The cost, black tax, the cost of being black in America. I read that again. The black tax, the cost of being black in America, and what you can do to help create the 6 million jobs and 1.4 million businesses that are missing in the black community. Really, really good book. Let me keep going. So here's another book. I got this book from my mentor, Lamar Tyler of Traffic, Sales, and Profit, and it's called The 80-20 Sales and Marketing. This is by Perry Marshall, The Definitive Guide to Working Less and Making More. And I'm just going to read the back of it because I like the point that they make. It says, guided by famed marketing consultants and best-selling author Perry Marshall, learn how to save 80% of your time and money by zeroing in on the right 20% of your market. Then apply the 80-20, right, times 2, and the 80-20 times 3 to gain 10x, even 100x that success. So it's just like, focusing on the audience that really matters, focusing on the work in your business that really matters, so that you can experience exponential growth in your business. 80-20 rule, get the book. It's very, very, I think it's very, very critical for your business. Because sometimes, we just in business, we're spinning our wheels, sometimes we're working on the wrong clients. Sometimes like 20% of your clients is really giving you 80% of your profit, and sometimes the 80% of the customers, is giving you the most headache, and you have that 20% of your customers that are ideal. It's like they're giving you most of your profit and they're giving you less headache. And so I've even heard people talk about like, you need to fire your customers, right? Because there's just some customers you shouldn't even work with. You just need to get rid of them. So really, really wrap your head around this concept. Learn how to get more done with less in your business. Perry Marshall, The Definitive Guide to Working Less and Making More. All right. I'll just see if I left something out. Oh yeah, I like this part. Cut your work in half and double your sales. Cut your work in half and double your sales. Because at the end of the day, we want to make money. You don't want to be a slave to your business, right? And you don't want to be a slave to your customers neither. And you don't want to be a slave to bad processes. You end up, you just end up being like this workaholic, and you just be working. You don't have no time to play, no time with your spouse, no time with your kids. You don't want to be a slave to your business. Get the book and accomplish more in less time. All right. I'm going to break for a commercial. I will be right back, and we will discuss the next 3 books on this this little table I got here. All right. Be right back. Starting a new business is exciting, but it quickly becomes overwhelming and frustrating if you don't have the proper guidance. After working with dozens of business owners, I realized that they struggled with understanding marketing concepts. They didn't know what they needed to be successful. They struggled with implementation and optimization, and they struggled with scaling their business. So to help my clients, I created an activity workbook entitled Joining the 1%, Module 1, where I walk business owners step by step through the process of picking the right product, establishing a reasonable plan, creating the marketing funnel they need for their business, and how to optimize the funnel for growth. This is not a book you read, it is a book you do. This is why we call it an activity workbook. Instead of chapters, it has steps, and all you have to do is follow the steps to move your business forward. So if you're tired of running in circles, and if you don't actually have a game plan, then you want to get this activity workbook, Joining the 1%, Module 1. Go to www.joiningthe1%.com. Take care. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samuel Genus, and you're watching Joining the 1%, where me and my family, we discuss our journey towards business ownership, wealth building, influence, and charity. In today's episode, I'm here by myself in this episode. My family will be back in the next episode. But in this episode, I'm talking to you about just great books for your business. Great books for your business. And I got 3 more that I want to share with you. It doesn't matter what your business is. I think all these books will benefit you. All right, so let me just get right to it. This one is the No BS Direct Marketing, the 3rd edition. No BS Direct Marketing. It's the ultimate no holds barred, kick butt, take no prisoners direct marketing for non-direct marketing businesses. It's written by Dan Kennedy, and I actually just want to read. On the back it says, transform your ordinary business into an extraordinary money machine. And the part that I like about the back of this book is what it says here. It says, it's like a little summary they give you, and I like the summary because it really brings out some good talking points. It says, you'll learn the customer getting sales boosting tactics you never knew existed, and master Dan's 10 no BS rules of direct marketing for non-direct marketing businesses. Rule number 1, there will always be an offer or offers, right? Rule number 2, there will be reasons to respond right now. Rule number 3, you will give clear instructions. Rule number 4, there will be tracking, measurement, and accountability. I like that, because a lot of businesses, they don't always do that, especially small businesses, mom and pops. They haven't wrapped their head around the analytics and all that kind of stuff. Rule number 5, only no-cost brand building. Rule number 6, there will be follow-up, right? Because money is in the sales pitch, but the wealth is in the follow-up, all right? Rule number 7, there will be strong copy. You can't just have, just these mediocre ad copies, these messages. Like, you really got to think about your ad copy. Rule number 8, it will look like mail order advertising. Rule number 9, results rule, period. That's a results rule, right? People are like, oh, I know this and I know this. We don't really care what you know. The results is what matters, Rule number 10, you will be a tough-minded disciplinarian and put your business on a strict direct marketing diet, right? Check out this book, read it. Like I said, don't just read these books, do the books, all right? Now, this one's going to catch y'all this is going to be a little bit crazy because I actually didn't read this book yet. I just got it in the mail, but I'm familiar with the subject matter. It's called Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompanying Good to Great, and this is by Jim Collins. I actually first learned about the flywheel concept from Sam Ovens. I was actually watching a video a couple of weeks ago with Sam Ovens, and he was breaking this down. But I haven't actually read this book yet. I actually just got it about, I think, the day before yesterday. It came in the mail from my mentor. And if my mentor sends me a book, guess what? I'm going to read it. It's just that simple. When your mentor tells you to read a book, you read the book. You don't argue, you don't debate, you don't put it down and never read it. You do what your mentor says. So Lamar, you gave me this book, I'm going to read it. But I haven't read it yet. And so I don't want to comment on it yet. But I know that the flywheel is it's like an approach. It's a concept to help you really to compound your business growth, to move from $1,000 dollars to $10,000, from $10,000 to to $100,000, from $100,000 to $1 million a month, from $1 million a month to $1 million a day. You know what I mean? It really talks about how to compound and how to look for those weaknesses within your existing approach and all that. I'm still kind of unclear in certain parts of the flywheel concept because I'm still learning it, so I don't want to talk too much about it. So I do apologize if I made a few mistakes, even just with what I already said. But I'm going to read the book. Thank you, Lamar. I'm going to read the book, and I'm going to see how I can add these things to what I learned in the principles to my business. All right. This last one is my favorite. It's the Bible. I actually think this is probably, it's the best book in the world, it's the best book in the universe, because it just, it deals with so many things. And I think, making money is great. But this book really helps you have just the right perspective on life. It helps you have the right perspective on your morals and values. I've met a lot of wealthy people who just crazy, straight up crazy. You know what I mean? This book will help you have a level head. This book will help you get the bigger picture. Because now watch this for a second. These books right here, these books will help you make money. This book will help you understand the bigger picture, right? This book, the Bible, is not going to help you with understanding marketing and digital marketing. It's not going to help you write a good sales copy. The Bible is not going to help you create a good product. The Bible is not going to help you, understand interest rates and all that kind of stuff, right? But the Bible helps you understand the bigger picture, because even Jesus said, what does it profit for man to what? Gain the whole world and then lose his soul. Because at the end of the day, the life expectancy of man is roughly 70 years, somewhere around there, give or take, right? You might live to see 90, you might live to see 100, you might even make it to 105, but the average person doesn't. And in the African American community, we live a little bit shorter, maybe about 5 or 7 years shorter, because of, access to health care. And then, sometimes men just don't go to the hospital when they should. They don't see the doctor when they should. Eating habits is not as great. But this gives you the bigger picture. There's a question that a rich man asked Jesus in the Bible. He said, "Good master, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Here's the crazy part. None of these books deal with that. They will show you how to make a ton of money. But how many of you know that even rich people still gonna die? Even rich people are still they're going in the grave. This book helps you understand the bigger picture of life itself, the origin of life, the origin of death. Where do we go when we die? What is my purpose of being here? See, this book, they try to tell you like, oh, you need to build a legacy, right? But this book is like, everything you build ain't gonna last. These books are like, build a legacy, create family wealth. You want to be remembered. How will you be remembered? You don't want your name to be forgotten. This book is like, you will be forgotten, because when Jesus comes back, all this stuff is going to be dissolved, and your name is going, your works, none of that stuff is going to matter when Jesus comes back. The only thing that's going to matter is, did you live the life that God wants you to live? That's what's going to matter. Only what you do for Christ is going to last. All these other stuff is great in the here and now. None of these stuff is great when you stand before the judgment seat of Christ, right? And so that's what this book kind of gets into. I probably sound like I'm preaching right now, because I am. But this book really helps you wrap your head around you. It helps, like, who you really are. Like, you are a child of God. You know what I mean? You're not a nigger. You're not a redneck. You're not a bastard. You know what I mean? You are a child of God. You was created by God. That makes you God's son and God's daughter. So now the question is, how do you operate as a son and daughter of God? This book gonna help you out. How do you move, on this planet as a son of God? How do you interact with other people on this planet? How do you prepare yourself, right, for that new heaven and that new earth that's coming? Because one of the favorite verses that I like in the Bible, many of us know it, is John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall what? Not perish. In other words, you won't die, you won't remain dead, but you shall have what? Everlasting life. This book is about everlasting life. These books is about money in a temporal world. It's about building businesses, making money, building family wealth. This book is about everlasting life. Now, here's what I submit to you. Get them all. Get them all, because in this life, this is going to be helpful, and in this life, this is going to be helpful. So get them all, read them all. Just don't read them, but also do them. All right? This is Samuel Genus. You are watching Joining the 1%. And check this out. Y'all don't understand this, but Noah was a 1%er. Abraham was a 1%er. King David, 1%er. King Solomon, 1%er. Jesus, 1%er. The 12 apostles, 1%er. Elijah, 1%er. So if you think that in the Bible, these were just a bunch of poor, broke, busted, and disgusted people, you are absolutely wrong. Abraham had a military. Abraham was had 1% thinking. He was a positive man. He understood his position and relationship with God, and he also understood his relationship here on earth. So this book, don't think that the 1% doesn't exist in this book. All right. So again, this is Samuel Genus with Joining the 1%. Check out our website, www.joiningthe1%.com. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Joining the 1%. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Joining the 1%. Again, Samuel Genus with Joining the 1%. I will see you in the next video. Take care.